Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, there's a lot of great credit cards out here, and I hope you all agree with me. But the challenge is a lot of these credit cards, they want you to pay $200, $300, $500, $700, $1,000 just to have the card. And it looks like they just overlook you when understanding that you're actually going to be utilizing the card. So for those of you that don't want to pay these outlandish annual fees for a credit card, I'm going to tell you 10 of the best credit cards you should look at, whether you have bad credit or perfect credit. Now, what I mean by perfect credit, you don't have to be a 800, 850 credit score. Long as you're hitting about a 760, 780 credit score, you can get these here cards, all right? Now, here's the thing about it. The first credit card I would tell you to look at is the Patel Card. Now, the reason why is because the Patel Card does a soft pull, all right? And the Patel Card has 3 stages, all right? Now, the stages of the Patel Card, if you have really bad credit, they have a Patel Card called the Patel Rise Card. It goes from $300 up to $3,500. Now, this is the only Patel Card that you actually have to pay an annual fee, and I think it's like maybe about $39 or $49, all right? But that's the only Patel Card that you have to pay the annual fee. Now, if you are above a certain threshold with the Patel, then you get the Patel One. Even though you may have new credit or somewhat bad credit, but it ain't too bad of credit, then you get the Patel One secured. And by the way, all of these cards I'm talking about with the Patel are all unsecured, okay? So the Patel One card, that card actually goes from $300 up to $5,000. Then the next level is the Patel 2 card. Now the Patel 2 card, that goes from $300 up to $10,000. All right, so that's a stepping stone type of card, banking card that you should take a look at it. Now, the next credit card is the Navy Federal Platinum Card. All right. Now, you may be wondering, why am I talking about the Navy Federal Platinum Card instead of the Navy Federal Flagship Card? Well, here's the thing that most people don't understand that I try to get them to figure out. Look, with the Navy Federal Platinum Card, it's a 0% purchase and balance transfer card, correct? Your Navy Federal Flagship Card, you have to automatically start paying interest on your purchase and balance transfer. So then you have to ask yourself, which card would I rather have? Would I rather have a $50,000 platinum card with no interest on balance transfer and purchases, or a flagship card where I have to automatically start paying interest? Now, here's the thing about it, understanding a lot of people are still in the dark about what's going on with Navy Federal. Here's the thing about it. In order to get on Navy Federal's good side, it ain't about the credit score. It's about the amount of accounts in the relationship. So that means that if you have an internal score from 100 to 450, it's the maximum. So that means that if you have direct deposit, now, and I know for some of you guys that are in the gig economy, you may be a freelancer, so you don't have payroll and stuff set up, so you can't do direct deposit. You can click the link in the description. We can help you with that. But your direct deposit, if you have a flagship account, checking account, a savings account, and then you have bad credit, an N reward, a pledge loan, and 2 other accounts you should have, and those 2 other accounts are either a CD or money market account. Now, the reason that I want to put emphasis on that direct deposit is because Navy Federal had been closing down a lot of people's Navy Federal accounts. The reason is because of fraud. A lot of people had went through the back door. They bought access numbers, right, from other people on the black market, and they signed up with Navy Federal. So that's one reason that Navy Federal started closing down accounts. The second reason is because of CPN, credit privacy numbers. CPNs are numbers, made up numbers that look like somebody's social. All right. Now, here's how you become an innocent victim in this. You have a friend named Sam. Sam has bad credit, so he hears about somebody that sells CPN numbers. He goes and buys one of these CPN numbers. He knows that you're a member of Navy Federal. He asks you to help him join Navy Federal. You helped him join Navy Federal, plus you added him on as an authorized user with that CPN. Now, they do a review because you are an innocent victim. You didn't know that it was a CPN. You was just doing him a favor, right? You thinking it's his social. Well, anyway, you end up being penalized and you end up getting all your Navy Federal accounts shut down. That's the reason I told you guys, please do not buy these access numbers. And whenever you're adding somebody on as an authorized user, you want to make sure that that's their actual social. All right? Because if you don't, and they're using a CPN, you can lose all of your accounts. So that's the second card you want to take a look at, right? Then the third card you want to look at is BMO. That's right, BMO. The reason is, if it's in your region, the reason you want to join BMO is because they have a platinum card. Now, their platinum card knocks a lot of these other banks out of the water, and I'll tell you why. Their platinum card goes from 0% for 18 months on balance transfer and purchases. Again, that's free money. You don't have to pay any interest on that money for 18 months. Now, there's something else that BMO has that a lot of banks are not offering. They're offering minority loan program. Now, this minority loan program, all you have to have is, I think, between a 620, 640 credit score to get their minority business loan. All right. And plus, they also offer the business line of credit. Now, one other thing about BMO that will help you is that they use a Vantage 4. Okay. They use a TransUnion Vantage 4. So for most people, they may not think that this is important. It's very important because it's a low-hanging fruit. Because with your Vantage 4, say that you have judgments on your file, you may have medical bills, you may have applied for a car and you have multiple inquiries on your file and stuff. They do not count that in your Vantage 4, okay? Or you may have a collection less than $100. They do not count that in a Vantage 4. So that's the reason why BMO is so important. Now, the next card you want to look at is USAA Platinum. As a matter of fact, most of USA credit cards are 0% interest for 15 months and on balance transfers and purchases. One of the things about it with USAA, their challenge right now is that because of them opening up fraud accounts and stuff, a lot of people started closing their accounts, right? So now, if you try to join and you saying that you have some type of military association, you may have a grandfather that's done passed or grandmother that's done passed or any other relative, mother, father, somebody that has passed, right? And they was military related, they may start wanting you to produce your DD-214. Now, I hope I'm saying that right, because those that are in the military that are watching this video, make sure that I'm saying the correct form. It's the DD-214 to show that you have a relative that actually served in the military. All right, so it would have to be from a parent or grandparent for that. Now, are there other ways that you can join USAA? Those are the primary ways. Now, if you are a friend of a member that's in the same household, that's using the same address, they will let you join that way as well, just like Navy Federal. So you don't have to be military related, but you do have to be sharing that same address. Okay, so you may have to produce some type of bill with that address on it. All right, so the USAA. Now, the next one is the PNC Core Visa. All right, so with the PNC Core Visa, this here goes up to 0% for 13 months, right? Now, here's the thing about it with PNC. Once you in there, they make it easier for you to get lines of credit as well. And the good thing about it with PNC, they use Experian FICO 9. It's another low-hanging fruit. So what I mean by low-hanging fruit is that if you have authorized users on the file, okay? If you have rental payments showing, if you have utility payments showing, if you have subscriptions, this helps you with your Vantage 3 and 4, as well as your Experian FICO 9. So these are the type of cards that I always tell people, start with these cards first. Not only are they not credit unions and community banks, so they are your tier 2 and tier 3, because they have a little more flexibility, they start giving you double-digit lines of credit and credit cards versus your tier 1. And we're going to talk about your tier 1 in a minute, but I just wanted to bring that to attention. Now, here's 2 credit cards that you also may be able to get without even a hard inquiry on the file, but you have to do the hack, which is the GM credit card, right? So with the GM issued by Goldman Sachs, TransUnion, it's a FICO 9, okay? TransUnion FICO 9. Now, here's the thing about it. Doing the TransUnion hack, meaning that you would do the pre-approval in one screen, right? And then you would open up a second screen. Once you know what you're actually pre-approved for, you open up a second screen. You would freeze your TransUnion file and then go ahead and put in the application. And now, doing that hack, sometimes it may take a few business days for them to approve you. But the good part about it, you won't have that hard inquiry, because I know a lot of people, if you already have the maximum amount of inquiries, usually I tell you between 6 to 8 inquiries, you're at that max or whatever. That's the reason that you want to do that hack. Now, you also have the Apple Card. You can do that same hack for the Apple Card because it's TransUnion FICO 9 and it's issued through Goldman Sachs. Now, here's the thing about it. When I mentioned BMO, PNC, those institutions, they are very flexible if you have the maximum inquiry. So if you're over 8 inquiries or whatever, they still may give you a credit card, because there have been people with 20-some hard inquiries and they still was approved for those cards, all right? So that's something that you should take a look at. Now, in reference to other low-hanging fruit, you have BCU, Baxter Credit Union, all right? Now, I'm going to talk about the tier 1, but I want to stay at around the tier 2 and tier 3, because, again, this is where your maximum funding. So with BCU, you're going to join the Life Money U organization, which is $5, but they'll waive it. Now, they may want to do a phone consultation, all right? Now, one thing I always tell you guys, before you just jump right in and apply for a credit card once you join and stuff, I would say give it at least 30 to 60 days before you apply, all right? Get some deposits in those accounts. Open up the checking account. Open up the savings account. Open up that CD or that money market account. One of those that doesn't have a high cost to join or whatever, right? So open up one of those and just give it about 30 to 60 days before you apply, all right? And then give your account a chance to season, all right? Once you give it a chance to season, then you go in and you apply. Again, with BCU, TransUnion, Vantage 3, right? And so where you would go over to Credit Karma and you would see your TransUnion Vantage 3. That's those scores there. Again, low-hanging fruit, all right? Now, another card you want to look at is your Veridian. Again, with Veridian Credit Union, these here credit unions I'm also talking about, they are non-geo restricted, okay? Meaning that anybody could join them. Now, here's the thing about it with Veridian. They may want to do a face-to-face consultation. through the computer. So they may want to talk to you on FaceTime or something like that in order to verify your identity and everything. All right. Now, the way to join them is through the Habitat of Humanities, which is about I think it's about $10 to $25 or whatever, but it's worth it because it is a TransUnion Vantage 3, and they're very generous, okay, and they're flexible on the hard inquiries as well. Now, let's talk about some of these tier 1 cards that if I was going tier 1, where would I start? Well, tier 1, where I would start, I would probably look at maybe Wells Fargo Reflect, right? Reason why? Because the Wells Fargo Reflect card for 21 months, 0 interest on purchases and balance transfers. But wait, it gets even better. If you don't like the limit that they give you, you can call in and they'll do a manual evaluation with a soft pull. All right. No, that it even gets better than that. Because what ends up happening, once you get the card, they will actually send you out checks to actually liquidate the card. That's right. So if you actually need that capital to do other things, like you may trying to start up Airbnb arbitrage, or you trying to just pay the down payment on a piece of real estate that you're trying to flip or something like that, this is definitely one of those financial institutions you want to look at. Now, Wells Fargo, they also have the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Now, that one itself is, I think it's 15 months as well, 0 interest on purchases and balance transfers. All right. Now, the next card I would go for is your U.S. Bank, your U.S. Bank Platinum. Now, why would I go for the U.S. Bank Platinum? Again, it's one of those banks, TransUnion, FICO 9 most of the time, depending on the region, but most of the time it's TransUnion, FICO 9. But they also give you checks to liquidate, which are called convenience checks. They'll allow you to liquidate or whatever. So if you need to turn that credit into cash, this is definitely one of those banks. And then if you can't get into U.S. Bank, then you also want to take into consideration their sister company, Elon Financial, right? So with Elon Financial, you would join like a credit union like Connectus Credit Union, right? Because they offer Elon credit cards. Now, with those credit cards there, again, you're talking about 0% interest for 18 months on purchases and balance transfer, and it's TransUnion FICO 9. So that Connectus Credit Union or Christian Credit Union, those are the ones that you can take a look at as well. Now, let's talk about another tier 1. You have American Express Blue Cash Card. All right. Now, this here is 0% on balance transfers. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it with American Express that a lot of us are familiar with. Once you have one American Express card, then you can apply for multiple American Express cards after that with a soft pull. Now, American Express starting out, they're more likely going to pull your TransUnion and your Experian. Now, they will give you your Experian FICO 8 score because they use Experian FICO 8 score. But here's the thing about it. A lot of people, they get so excited about being a part of American Express, and they see people with this American Express Platinum card. I would not go after that card. I would stick with the revolving cards. Now, with the Platinum card, they do have a component inside of it, like say that you was pre-approved for $40,000, $50,000, right? And you know you're probably going to use about $10,000, then what they'll do, that $10,000, they would set that up on like in a revolving account for like 6 months, okay? And then any amount you use after that, that's on the charge account. You have to pay that off in full, all right? So that's a good component of it, but they don't offer you like the convenience checks to liquidate the cards, all right? So I know for some of you guys be needing that capital right away. They don't offer you that, All right. Now, good part about it, after 6 months, they will offer you a personal loan without a hard pull. So that's good, but if you're trying to figure out a way to liquidate the cards, that's not one of them. Now, what about the Chase? Okay, so you have the Chase Preferred, Chase Sapphire, and you're talking about credit cards that'll give you 0% interest for like 15 months and stuff like that on balance transfers and purchases. Again, those are tier 1. So I myself, I always try to tell my clients to focus on the tier 2 and the tier 3. And for those of you that are actually enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And make sure you hit that bell. The reason that a lot of you guys are not seeing my videos anymore, because that bell, when you hit that bell, is going to drop down and you have to hit the word all, ALL. If you do that, you're going to see all of my videos and stuff, because I've been putting out a lot of content and I've been telling you guys the best places to go get loans when you have bad credit that won't do a hard pull and that won't report on your personal credit file as well. Okay, so for those of you that's really enjoying my videos, that really rock with me, that really support me, hey, that's one of the best ways to keep up with me. You have to hit that bell, and once you hit that bell, it's going to drop down. It's going to be all. You hit that all, and then the bell will turn white, and you'll get all my notifications. All right. Now, for those of you that just joined me, welcome. I really appreciate your support. I hope you subscribe and stick with the channel. If you have questions, you can do a comment below. If you need to schedule, you can check out the links below as well. And I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.